Hello students, today we are going to discuss about the ascending tracks of the spinal cord. So before we are entering to the spinal ascending tracks, so we have to know about the spinal cord. So where exactly this is situated and what are the coverings, what are the shape and lengths and what are the segments, so how the spinal nerves going to be making this branches. So now we are going to be see little bit detailing. First of all, you have to know about where is the exact sensation how it produces. It definitely just produces in the receptors of the skin. Okay, so these are different types of the receptor which we mentioned is like as a free nerve ending, root hair plexus, Merkel cells, and tactic corpuscles, laminated corpuscles, okay, and Ruffini corpuscles. So these are the receptors. Okay. So next we are coming for this spinal cord. Actually, first of all, you have to know about this. So where is exactly it is situated? The spinal cord is lies loosely in the vertebral canal. It extended from this foramen magnum, where it will be continuous with a medulla oblongata above and up to the lower border of the first lumbar vertebrae. So next we are coming towards the coverings. What are the coverings? The spinal cord is covered by the sheets called as a meninges. So which are membranous in the nature. The meninges are dura mater, pia mater and alpinoid mater. So these coverings is continuous as coverings of the brain. So meninges are responsible for protections and nourishments of the nervous tissues. So now we have to know coming for the shapes and the length. The spinal cord is a cylindrical in shape. The length of the spinal cord is about 45 centimeter in the males and 43 centimeters in the females. Next we are coming towards the enlargements. So the spinal cord has a two spindle shaped swelling, namely like is the cervical and the lumbar enlargements. These two portions of spinal cord innervate upper and lower extremities in the respectively. So next we are coming for the conus medullaris as well the phylum terminale. So below the lumbar enlargement, so the spinal cord rapidly narrows towards a cone shape. Its termination is called as a conus. And next we are towards the medullaris. So next we are coming to see this a slender non-nervous filament is called as a phylum terminale. Is extend from this conus medullaris downwards to fundus the dural sac at the level of the second sacral vertebrae. So now we have to coming for this what are the segments? So segments of the spinal cord is made up of the 31 segment. Okay, so which are list which are that there is a cervical segment, a thoracic segment, is a lumbar segment, a sacral segment and coccygeal segment. So in the cervical segment is contained as a 8 and the thoracic is 12 and lumbar is a 5 and sacral also is a 5 and there is a coccygeal is a 1. So totally 31 segment. Next we are coming for the two see there's a spinal nerves. The segment of the spinal cord is correspond to the 31 pair of the spinal nerves in a symmetrical manner. Next we are coming to see this organization of the neuron in gray matter. So the organization of the neuron in the gray matter of the spinal cord is described the two methods. So before that we have to know about this gray matter as well as the white matter, and there is a two types of the gray things. One is a gray matter, one is a white matter. So now we are coming to focus on this gray matter. So there is going to be just divided into two parts. One is a nuclei or columns or laminae or layers. Okay, so first of all, we have to know about the nuclei. The cluster of the neurons are present in the form of nuclei or cell column in gray matter. So advantage of this method is that different nuclei are easily distinguished, and disadvantage is that some neuron like is the internuclear neuron which are outside the distinct nuclei are not included. So the nuclei is the posterior gray on is contain the nuclei of a sensory neuron which receive the impulses from the various receptor of the body through the posterior nerve root fibers. There are the four type of the nuclei of the sensory neuron. So what are that? One is the marginal nucleus, substantia gelatinosa, and chief sensory nucleus, and finally the dorsal nucleus. Okay, so these are the nucleus which is present in the gray matter. Next we are coming to see this is a laminae. So what is a laminae? And so neuron of the gray matter are distributed in the laminae or layers. So each laminae consists of the neuron or different size and shape. Actually this is the cytoarchitectural laminations was be identified around, I think this is 1950 by the Brian Brook and SB Rext. So that's why his mention is the lamina of the Rext. He classified the neuron in laminae based on his observation on section of brain in the neonatal cat. Okay, so advantage of this method is that all the neuron of Greyhound are included, and so what is the disadvantage of this method is be difficult to distinguish the laminae from one another. That's the reason. So first of all, now we are going to be a little bit deep with the laminae in the posterior Greyhound and as a lateral Greyhound. Okay, so first of all, you have to know about this one in the posterior Greyhound. So lamina is a 1 to 6 constitute the posterior Greyhound. So these laminae contain the nuclei of sensory neuron which are concerned with the sensory functions. So nuclei presence in the laminae of the posterior Greyhound. So lamina 1 is called the marginalis, otherwise called the marginal nucleus, and 2 and 3 substantia gelatinous of Bernardo, and is a 4, 5 and 6 is a chief sensory nucleus is called the nucleus proprius, and lamina 7 is the intermediate gray, intermediate cell column is a class column, intermediate cell columns. So and then is a lamina 9 is the anterior horn. So these are up to is a 6, they have to be just contained in the posterior Greyhound. So so lateral Greyhounds contains only one lamina, that is the 7th lamina. It contains is a intermediolateral nucleus. Okay, and so what are the lamina which is present in the anterior Greyhound? So it's anterior sides. Okay, it's the lamina 8 and 9 from the anterior Greyhound. These lamina contains the nucleus of the motor neuron which are the concerned with motor functions. For example, the 8th one is a motor initial is a neurons which are also called as a interneuron, and is a 9th neuron is a motor neuron, and is a lamina around the central canal. There is only one lamina around the center of the spinal cord. The lamina is a 10th lamina. It contains the neuralgia which are from the supporting tissues. Okay, so these are things, everything is just present in the gray matter. Yeah, this is a diagram we have easily to see. This is a lamina, different types of lamina as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so up to 6 is a lateral, and after that there is a, I want to see about this one in the anterior Greyhound is a 8th and 9, and is a around the central canal is a 10th lamina. And finally we are going to see about the function of the entire spinal cord. Is when we receive the sensory function, the sensory tract, and when we receive the motor functions, control the tone, power of the muscles, and control the movement, and to control the deep reflexes, superficial reflexes, and finally is the autonomic functions. Next we are going to deal with this ascending tracts of the spinal cord. Okay, so ascending tracts, which means it's going to be just ascended towards the brain. Okay, so the ascending tracts of spinal cord carry the impulses of various sensations to the brain. Are you understood? Okay, so now this is the important thing. So this is the ascending tract. So by the spinal cord, with help of the spinal cord, it just move towards the brain is called as the ascending tract. Okay, so in the ascending tract, so we are going to be a bit deeply see about this. Is a pathway for the each sensations found by the 2 or 3 group of neuron, which is called as a first order neuron, second order neuron, or and third order neuron. So what is the first order neuron? First of all, the first order neuron receives the sensory impulses from the receptor and send them to sensory neuron present in the posterior gray on of the special spinal cord through the fibers. So nerve cells bodies of these neurons are located in the posterior nerve root ganglion. So what is the second order neuron? The second order neuron or the sensory neuron is present in the posterior gray on fibers from these neuron from the ascending tracts of spinal cord. So these fibers carry the sensory impulses from the spinal cord to different area of the brain is below to the cerebral cortex. It's called such as a thalamus. So all the ascending tracts are formed by the fibers of second order neuron of the sensory pathway except the ascending tracts in the posterior white nucleus and which are formed by the fibers of the first order neurons. So next we are coming for to see there's a third order neuron. This third order neuron in the subcortical areas such as the thalamus and fibers of these neurons carry the sensory impulses from the subcortical areas to cerebral cortex. Okay, so ascending tract will be situated in the different white nuclei and their features have to be just to reach us towards in the brain. Okay, so I hope you understand the first order to just carry impulses and to just given to the second order neuron, and second order neuron is again the same thing is going to carry the impulses towards to just given towards in the brain. Okay, so the first order neuron is taking the we receive the impulses from the receptor to the second order neuron. The second order which is present in the subcortical area like as a thalamus, and this from the thalamus the third order neuron which is initiated, the finally is going to just reaches towards the cerebral cortex. Okay, so it's like a relay system to send in the impulse from the different types of the neurons. Next we are coming to see this is somatic sensory pathways. There are the three major pathways carry the sensory information towards the brain. So one is the posterior column pathway, anterolateral pathway, spinocerebellar pathway. So ascending tracts in the spinal cord. So it is a different types of the tracts to reach to the brain. As a posterior column, spinothalamic column, spinocerebellar tract, spinotectal tract, spino-olivary tract, and spino-reticular tract. So here we are going to see about this. This is a thing. So how to just receive the impulses from the receptors to just send towards in the brain. Yeah, I hope this will be easy to understand. So here this is the dorsal column. They have to just receive the impulses. This is afferent now and just send towards in the spinal cord. From the spinal cord to just arises towards in the cerebral cortex. First we are going to see about the first dorsal column or posterior column tract of the and the branch. And here so dorsal spinocerebellar tract is always called as a flanking tract, direct spinocerebellar tract, posterior spinocerebellar tract. Here actually the situations the dorsal spinocerebellar tract is situated in the lateral column along the posterolateral periphery of the spinal cord. It is situated the posterior to the ventral cerebellar tract and anterior to the entry of the posterior nerve root. The sensation, what are the sensations we just carry is a fine touch, pressure, conscious proprioceptions, and vibration senses and stereognosis. And here dorsal column, the first order neuron just carry the impulses from the dorsal root ganglion, and second order neuron is going to just reaches towards the nucleus gracilis, otherwise cuneatus, and internal arcuate fibers, and finally the third order neuron is in the thalamus, and finally is going to be just terminated in this primary somesthetic area. Next we are going to see about the anterolateral pathway. So scale is a poorly localized sensation of the touch, pressure, pain, and temperature. Axon is a decussate, which is changes in the pathways, ways in the spinal cord, and the sun within the anterior and the lateral spinothalamic tract, and headed towards the ventral nuclei of the thalamus. And this is the spinothalamic tract. And next we are going to see was the lateral spinothalamic tract. So just carry the impulse, which already seen this one. And next we are going to the lateral spinothalamic tract. So the lateral spinothalamic tract is formed by these fibers from the second order neuron of the pathway of the sensation of the pain, temperature. Very exactly the situation like lateral spinothalamic tract is situated in the lateral column towards the medial side. Examples are near the gray matter, and it will be origin from this fibers of lateral spinothalamic tract take origin from the two sources. One is the marginal nucleus, other one is the substantia gelatinosa. And next we are going to enter the lateral spinothalamic was be crossed, which means the decussate was of axon marginal nucleus and substantia gelatinosa of the Rolando, and cross the opposite side and reach the lateral column of the same segment. Few fibers may ascend one or two segments and then cross to the opposite side and then ascend in the lateral column. All the fibers pass through the medulla, pons, and midbrain and reach the thalamus along with the fibers of anterior spinothalamic tract. Some of these fibers of lateral spinothalamic tract from the collaterals and reach the reticular formation of the brain stem. And finally, we are going to be just terminations. This will be fibers of the lateral spinothalamic tract terminate in the ventral posterolateral nucleus of the thalamus. Okay, and and along with that anterior spinothalamic tract fibers from here, there's a third order neuron fibers around somatic areas like the sensory cortex of the cerebral cortex. If there's functions of that, so fibers of the lateral spinothalamic tract to carry the impulses of the pain and temperature sensation. Fibers arising from this marginal nucleus transmit impulses of the first pain sensation. Fibers arising from the substantia gelatinosa of the Rolando transmit impulses, slow pain, and the temperature sensations. Now we have to know about the difference between the fast pain and slow pain. The fast pain is the short pricking, group 3, A delta fibers, short latency, well localized, short duration, less emotion, neospinothalamic tract. Slow pain is with dull burning, is group 4, and is type C fibers, and is a slower onset, is with diffuse, long duration, emotions, autonomic response, and paleospinothalamic tract. And next we are coming to see this is the things they have to be this responsibility is going to reach in the concern area of the cerebral cortex, and is anterior spinothalamic tract. In the anterior spinothalamic tract is formed by the fibers of second order neuron on the pathways like as a crude touch sensation. Very exactly the situations. Anterior spinothalamic tract will be situated in the anterior white funiculus nearby the periphery, and it will be origined by the fibers of anterior spinothalamic tract arises from the neuron of chief sensory nucleus of the posterior gray on, which form the second order neuron of the crude touch pathway. The first order neuron are situated in the posterior nerve root ganglia. These neurons receive the impulses of crude touch sensation from the pressure receptor. Axon of the first order neuron reach the chief sensory nucleus through the posterior nerve root, and what this is exactly causes. So anterior spinothalamic tract contains a crossed fibers. Is after taking the origin, these fibers cross obliquely in the anterior white commissure and enter the anterior white column of the opposite side. The fibers ascend through other segment of the spinal cord and the brain stem to reach the thalamus. And free fibers of this tract ascends the posterior gray on for the two or three segments of same side and then crosses cross over the anterior wide column of the opposite side. And termination is the fibers of the anterior spinothalamic tract terminate in the ventral posterolateral nucleus of thalamus. The neuron of this thalamic nucleus from the third order neuron of this pathway fibers from thalamic nucleus carry the impulses to somaesthetic areas of the cerebral cortex. And next we are coming to see this is spinocerebellar, and is being includes the posterior and anterior spinocerebellar. The modality is the unconscious proprioception to carry the sensation of the cerebellum concerning position like as a muscles, tendon and joints, and receptors be muscle, spindle, Golgi, tendon, organ. And as be modality is unconscious proprioception, receptors muscle, spindle, Golgi, tendon, organ. The first order neuron is started from the dorsal root ganglion, and second order neuron is a laminae of seventh laminae is a Clark's column, and the termination will be cerebral cortex. And spinocerebellum, there is a two types. One is a direct or is a there is a two way we used to call as a direct or as a dorsal spinocerebellar tract. So it arises from the Clark's columns of cells, ascends through the lateral white columns, passes through the medulla, and this enters the cerebellum through the inferior cerebellum peduncle and terminate in the anterior and the posterior lobes. And is a ventrospinocerebellar, is also known as the Gower tract, and indirect spinocerebellar tract, or is called the anterior spinocerebellar tract. So it is constantly by these fibers of the second order neuron pathway of the subconscious kinesthetic sensations. It will be this origin situation from this lateral white column and origin in this marginal nucleus and lower lumbar segments of the spinal cord. And it enters in the cerebellum via the superior cerebellar peduncle, contain the both crossed and uncrossed. The crossed fibers recross the upper level of the brain stem and reach the cerebellum. So this is an example to just going to be just reach, and after that is going to be cross over here and to just reach the higher center. And spinotectal tract. So this conveys afferent informations for the spino-visual reflexes. So spinotectal tract is considered as a component of the anterior spinothalamic tract. It is constituted by the fibers second order neuron. Situation in this lateral white column is the fibers be origin chip sensory nucleuses and be just crossed to fibers and be terminated in the superior colliculus, and maybe there is a function as a spinotectal is concerned as a spino-visual reflexes. And spino-olivary tract conveys a conveys a proprioceptive informations from the muscle or cerebellum. And it's a dorsal respiratory group, and it's unknown as second order neurons cross and ascends the anterior column synapse in the inferior olivary nucleus. And next the spino-reticular tract. So spino-reticular tract is formed by the second order neuron. Its situation is anterolateral white column, and its origin is the intermediolateral nucleus, and because it is crossed and uncrossed both, and we just terminated in this nucleus reticularis and degenitocellularis and lateral reticular nucleus. Okay, and so function of this one is the fibers contains a spinoreticular tract or the component of the ascending reticular activating systems and or the concern with the consciousness as well as the awareness. So this is the entire thing. So these are the track names and sensation location, and whether it is a cross or uncross is where it's going to be exactly projected. And sensation from the phase and terminal is the fifth cranial nerve. There's the three branches like ophthalmic and maxillary mandibular, which carry the touch position as a pain, temperature, sensation from the mouth. Does not carry any taste sensation here. And so these are the areas: first branch, second and third branch. So branch of those trigeminal nerves, ophthalmic and maxillary and mandibular. So these are the sample questions they have to ask in the university exams. Okay, thank you. Have any questions, any queries? Please text me. You can comment in this under the video. You can kindly subscribe. Thank you.